Don't forget to subscribe to Panda Outdoors. Do it now.
Okay, YouTube. So I am back here in the shed. This is just touching on one of the other videos we went over on why I think you should start prepping for 2024. Again, watch that video. Might be interesting to you. It's pretty much me just waffling about certain things that have happened and why we should start prepping. And for what for? So civil unrest, rioting, pandemics, so on, so on. But in this video, I'm just going to touch on 5 things I think not only a prepper but anybody, okay, in just day-to-day life could do with doing or having in their arsenal, especially as a prepper. So the first one I think is just a small set of tools and fixtures and fittings, okay? When I say fixtures and fittings and fixings, like your screws, nuts, bolts, nails, cable ties, stuff like that. Like I've got this box, okay, that I'm just trying to organise now. That somebody picked up in a car boot sale, full of all different assortments of screws. Didn't want it, was going to throw it away, so I had it off them. So again, I have other, as you can see behind me, shelf just full of all kinds of bits and bobs. But with a toolkit, I've collected tools over the years, but even if you just went and bought a small basic tool set from B&Q, Halfords, anywhere like that, I think even as the Tesco sell basic toolkits, just something to keep at your home for if anything ever breaks. If you don't know what you're doing, at least if you've got the tools, you can have a go. And I think an overlooked tool that everybody should have is some sort of cordless drill. So like a battery powered drill, something like this. This is an impact driver, but it's very similar. A cordless drill that can be used as a drill for drilling holes, or it can also be used as a screwdriver. So for instance, you've just moved house. So this is an SHTF situation. You've just moved house. The missus has sent you down to the dreaded IKEA, and she's bought 4 wardrobes, 4 chest of drawers, and an assortment of all other flat pack stuff. If you've got some sort of cordless drill, it's so much easier and so much faster to bang them up instead of trying to do it all by hand. So, or you've got to board your window up, stuff like that. With a cordless drill, comes in so handy. So number one, I'm going to say now, is some sort of tools, just a basic toolkit and some fixings, basic screws. Nah. When you go to like the pound shop or any of them shops that sell all kinds of junk and stuff, just pick up a little pack of screws, throw them in your toolbox. Pick up a pack of nails, throw them in your toolbox, and they all come in handy for that time when you do need them. I'm not saying go and raid B&Q and take every screw or nail off the shelf, but just every now and again, pick up a little box of screws, packet of nails, cable ties, stuff like that, and just build them up because they do come in handy for when you need them for any situations that may occur. Okay, and then number 2 is have some basic food storage. At the moment, I'm just building mine. So what I'm going to do is I'll bring you along. I won't do it all the time, maybe once a month, 2 months. I'll take you on a little prepper pantry that I'm trying to build shop. So I'm budgeting myself anywhere between £10 and £20 a week, depending on how well I've done in work, to put towards food to put away. My goal is at the moment 3 months worth of food. That's what I want to have on the shelf, 3 months worth of food. The way I look at it now is once I've hit that 3 months, I'll continue anyway, but 3 months will cover if I ever come out to work, if I ever get injured or anything like that. At least I know we're not going to go hungry in the house. We can still feed each other. We haven't got to go. I know my family wouldn't let us suffer like that, but it's just in case I don't have to go and ask them for charity off people. I've got it there. I'm a bit more self-sufficient. So having water, food, and a way of cooking and heating your food and your water. Okay, so I think that is crucial. I'm not doing these in any order of how important they are. It's just off the top of my head. So food, water, having at least, I'd say 2 weeks is a good amount maybe to start with, and then build up from there. So I'm going to go for 3 months in mine. Then number 3 is, I think, a really overlooked skill that nobody ever mentions, is driving. If you want to be prepared and self-sufficient, again, if people can't drive for medical reasons, then this bit isn't for you. But if you're well and able to learn how to be able to drive, then learning to drive is key. One, a lot more job opportunities are about for people who can drive. It's a fact. You could go and do anything. Be a delivery driver. You could deliver pizzas of an evening in your own car for some extra cash. You could be a taxi driver, anything like that. So there's just loads more job opportunities for you, and people will look at taking you on more if you've got a driver's license, especially if you're in the building game or anything like that. If you can drive, there's always a job going somewhere. As well, for being prepared and self-sufficient, if in an emergency and you have to get somewhere, you're not waiting on a taxi, you're not waiting on a bus, you're not walking anywhere. You get your key, as long as you've got your vehicle fueled up, which you should always have it fueled up. Getting your vehicle, away you go. Whether it be taking a family member to the hospital, getting to a hospital to see a family member, getting yourself to a hospital, or in the worst case scenario, you and your family have got to bug out. Okay, so if you've got to leave the home for whatever reason, if you can drive, you're taking a lot more kit with you to make the transition from being comfortable and stable at home to being out, living out of a Bergen, you're now living out of the back of your vehicle, okay? So learning how to drive is, I think, is a key skill for any prepper, as long as you're fit and well to drive. And then another thing, okay, so number 4 is build a community of like-minded individuals that bring stuff to the table. So don't just all put your eggs in one basket. Don't just all be really good at bushcraft. Okay, so if you're wanting to build this community, I'd say, like in my group, I've got myself. I'm okay. I can have a go at mechanics. I can do basic stuff. I'm good at tires, and I'm okay at bushcraft. And I've got some basic knowledge from when I was in the TA in survival. And I'm not a bad cook. Okay, I can rustle up edible food, whether it be in the house or on a cooking over an open flame or using camping gear. Then we've got Brani, ex-army, got a lot more skills than me in that front. He's a manager for a security company, so he understands looking at a space and seeing the weaknesses in security. As well, he's a really good welder, so he's good at making things, and he's really good at bushcraft as well. He's on par with me in bushcraft. And then we've got Chris, and he has a go Brani, on the tools, fixing cars. He's got a lot of patience. Then you've got Chris, who is stupidly good at mechanics, really good at mechanics. Again, got a keen interest for bushcraft, and has got a few other skills to the table as well. Like he's a qualified horse trainer, which I only found out that not so long ago. So, and he's good again at basic woodwork and stuff like that. So building stuff, like myself, I have a go. Not the best, but I have a go. Then you've got Andy. Andy's really good at bushcraft, navigation with their map and compass. He has a go on the tools, but he's not the best. And he's stupidly good at computers. So, for instance, he'd be the guy who we wanted to say, Andy, we need all this putting onto USB sticks, blah, 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 for an emergency. Can you get that done? Andy's your man to go to with computers. And then we've got Simon, really good at bushcraft. Again, ex-military, and he's a really good hunter, and he's good at prepping game. So he's good at outdoor cooking, prepping game, hunting, and butchery. So that's just in 5 people in my group that if anything happened, we can all have a go. And all of us are quite hands-on, so we can all have a little go. Like, I'll have a little go plumbing. I'll dive into electrics. Brani's the same. He stripped his washing machine down instead of buying a new one and rebuilt it from scratch. So we can all bring stuff to the table. Don't just have one set of skills each, all having the same set of skills, because it won't work if you're trying to build a community. So build a community of like-minded individuals that all bring something else to the table, all have their own skill that they can bring to the table. Okay, and then the last one is knowledge. Okay, so learning knowledge. So learn some basic skills yourself. Okay, so it's all well and good now. I've got just next to me, I've got a cupboard full of knives, axes, all kinds of Gucci kit. I've got hammocks, I've got log burners, stuff like that. But if you don't know how to use them, there's no point. So go on a basic bushcraft course, okay? You can learn this yourself, but it's nice to go and have somebody show you. Like, pretty much I've learned most of the stuff myself, but I've been on a couple of bushcraft courses. One of the best ones I ever did was with Bushcraft Tools, Dustin from Bushcraft Tools. It was amazing. We done deer butchery, and it was the first time I'd ever managed to do friction by fire. I found out why I can't do it is because I'm fat. Believe it or not, I'm not the right shape to be locking my elbow in to get the bow to do it. But between me and Andy, we got it going. One was bracing and one was doing it. But if I wouldn't have went on that course, nobody told me that. It was just I figured it out while I was there that I'm the wrong shape for it. But that was one of the best courses I went on. I learned so much, basic foraging and things like that, and butchery. Again, first aid. First aid courses are a must. Okay, I think everybody should be first aid trained. When you leave school at 16, you should do a first aid course before you leave school. Being first aid trained it gives you the confidence if somebody's hurt to go and help them, or it gives you the confidence to know that if a member of your family gets hurt, you've got the skill set behind you to help them. Okay, and just a basic first aid course. I do want to go on and do my first responders course, which is a little bit more in depth, for turning up at the scenes of a casualty, and stuff like that. I do want to go on to do that, but do some basic courses and absorb some basic knowledge is a must, and practice this knowledge. So learn some skills and knowledge, because the more skills and knowledge you have, the less kit you'll need in an SHTF situation. Okay, so learn some basic skills, and some knowledge, whether that be having a nice book collection that you want to read, or you go and do a few courses. But skills and knowledge is one. Learning to drive is another. Having a group of like-minded individuals around you that you can bounce ideas off and thrive as a prepping community. Don't try and be John Rambo. 4, have a nice supply of food and water to see you for a short period of time and then build it up to a bigger period of time. But I think having some sort of food is better than none. So start off small and build up. And then number 1, just have some basic hand tools if you've ever got to fix anything or bodge anything up. So there's just five tips or 5 things I think somebody who wants to be self-sufficient or more prepared should look at doing or gaining in their arsenal of being a prepper. Okay, I've been Panda. Thanks for watching. I don't know if this video was helpful or what, or I'm just rambling. But over the last few months, I've just got a lot more into being more prepared. Maybe it's because I'm a dad now or whatever. I just want to be more prepared, and I don't want anything to hit us again, like the pandemics did or anything like that, and knock us off track. So I'll bring you along for the ride. I've been Panda. Thanks for watching. Stay prepared, and I will see you outdoors sometime. Take care now.